Sunday evening at 7? Meet you there? Alex suggested. Sure, Luke agreed, pulling out his wallet and handing Alex a business card. Home number on there too. Let me know if anything comes up. He didn't ask for Alexia's number or address. Okay, Alex said. As he stood, Luke rose too and kissed him gently but firmly on the brown material masking his left cheek, just below the false cheekbone. Alex pressed Alexia's lips to Luke's briefly. They said their goodbyes, and Alex hurried out to catch a taxi. Alex was lucky, a taxi waited outside. Do you have a fare already? He asked the driver. The cabbie, whose skin was a shade darker than Alexia's suit, smiled broadly, admiring Alexia's figure. Alice somebody, he said, but she's kept me waiting 10 minutes without showing up. Hop in, ma'am. Alex got in, gave his own address, deciding that getting out of the suit on time mattered more than concealment. I don't think I've had a prettier woman in my cab in months, the driver said after a few blocks. Why, thank you, Alex giggled. You a fashion model? Alex laughed prettily. No way. Too much meat on my bones. You don't think a model can have this figure and get jobs, do you? The cabbie chuckled. It's a great figure. I'd hire you any day. The cab pulled into Alex's condo driveway. Alex got out, paid the fare with a generous tip, and planted a light kiss on the driver's cheek with Alexia's lips. You're trying to break my heart, the driver said as Alex waved goodbye and headed to the door. Fumbling with his keys, numbed by the suit's false skin, Alex unlocked the door just as the cab drove off. Inside, he checked his watch, 9:34. Pausing before the hall mirror, he studied his false face as he began undressing, and let out a soft gasp. There was no trace of Alex left in the face. His own features were gone, replaced entirely by a woman's, and a stranger's. 3 hours earlier, Alex's own self had looked back at him reassuringly, but now it seemed replaced by Alexia LaSalle's self. He was becoming Alexia LaSalle. Panic surged. Alex clawed at Alexia's delicate-looking neck with the suit's hands until it opened after about 30 seconds. He ripped off the sweatband from her forehead, pulled off the tank top, struggled but finally removed the sports bra. He forced the front slit open down to the crotch, grabbed her head, and pulled. The voice changer popped out, but Alexia's face and scalp came off slowly, as if unwilling to part from his flesh and bone. The brown membranes of her eyes were wet on both sides, as if she wept at her own undoing. Strangely, Alex's face was barely sore. He sighed, a soft, almost girlish sigh, relieved. Just as he was about to scream, a sharp pain shifted something in his throat. Oh God, don't let it, he began, but the voice that emerged was his own. Alex stripped off the rest of his clothes and then peeled off the suit completely. Naked, he carried the suit to the bathroom and into the shower, washing it inside and out with a lightly mint-scented natural soap. After hanging it on the towel rack, he washed himself. Clean now, Alex found himself reaching for the suit again. Pausing briefly, he grabbed it and dragged it into the tub stall, sliding back into it. Though it was only his third time wearing it, putting the suit on felt easy, almost natural. After sealing the neck, he pressed the suit firmly but gently against his body, working downward from scalp to feet. When the voice changer wriggled into his mouth, he inhaled deeply and began speaking in falsetto, feeling the familiar odd shift in his throat. Hello, Alexia, he said in her beautiful soprano voice. It's lovely to see you again. To be you again. Somehow, he didn't feel foolish saying it. Though both his body and the suit were clean, Alex took a shower as Alexia, exactly as if he were truly Alexia LaSalle, fresh from jogging, rinsing off her sweat. Through the thinner parts of the suit, he felt the water temperature. The faint sense of touch the suit provided was barely noticeable. He felt like a man washing a suit, not a woman washing herself. Still, he shampooed Alexia's hair, soaped and scrubbed her skin, acting as if he truly was her. He shut off the water, stepped out, dried Alexia the way a woman would, and wrapped her hair in a towel. Anyone watching would see only a tall, very pretty woman showering. Alex smiled and looked into the mirror. Alexia, naked, her hair wrapped in a towel, smiled back, showing no sign she was a shell, an elaborate mask hiding Alex inside, or had ever been anyone but herself. "Oh, shit," she said, revealing her true nature. "What the hell am I doing to myself? I'm a man, damn it. I'm Alex Solar, not some part black woman." But Alexia's voice, expressions, and poise, the lovely image in the mirror, and something deeper inside her than the male body beneath contradicted those words. Inside Alexia, Alex blushed, ashamed of what he'd just called himself. "I'm not some kind of perverted transvestite," Alex said, pleading in Alexia's voice. "Luke's going to become this girl, not me." None of it felt true. Alex paused, gazing at Alexia's beautiful reflection, and Alexia seemed to take over. She smiled slowly and shyly, pure woman. "Hi, I'm Alexia LaSalle," she said. "I wonder if Luke will fall in love with me." Alex screamed Alexia's scream and clawed at her throat with her own nails. Within moments, an inch of the slit opened. He forced it wider, all the way to the crotch, leaving welts on his skin. The towel around Alexia's wet hair slipped off and fell to the floor. Alex pulled Alexia's skin from his head, and the membranes giving him Alexia's perfect brown eyes popped out painfully, tears on both sides. He almost turned Alexia inside out in shedding her, feeling a wrenching pain in his throat as he lost Alexia's voice. What had been Alexia lay in a heap. Alex stood beside it, breathing hard. He put on his glasses, hung his head, and stared at the floor. By some strange chance, Alexia's face, barely distorted, smiled back at him, mischievous and alluring. "You won't catch me. You'll catch Luke, and when he's you, I'll make you pay for this." He plugged the tub, started running warm water, then grabbed the suit, one hand beneath the pile, the other crushing Alexia's face, and threw it in. Turning to the mirror, Alex barely stifled a scream at his reflection. It didn't match the body image in his mind, the young woman with high cheekbones, frizzy hair, firm chests, trim waist, and sleek legs clothed in perfect pale brown skin had been hideously transformed into an unclothed man wearing glasses. Transformed back into Alex. "Oh, shit," he said aloud. It took nearly a minute to feel comfortable again in his own skin. Looking at the mirror was hard enough, but looking down and seeing his male chest and inner thighs was even tougher. He stamped out of the bathroom and dressed in his usual Saturday t-shirt, jeans, and deck shoes. Alex ate an early lunch of undercooked frozen pizza. As he finished, his thoughts drifted to Alexia's upcoming date with Luke on Sunday night. She'd have to blow him away, he thought. "I have to be perfect, hair and clothes just right, a dream woman, someone Luke wants to take home and be with on the first date. Maybe I should buy some really sexy clothes that show off my figure, find shoes that fit, get my hair styled, straightened or properly curled, go to that makeup place at the mall for a makeover." "Shit!" Alex exclaimed aloud. "That girl's taking over. I'm thinking like her," he realized. "I'm starting to believe I really am her, not me at all. If I keep putting her on, by Sunday night there won't be any me left, just Alexia. Maybe I can put her on once or twice and still take her off, but sooner or later, I'll think I'm supposed to be her, want to stay her, and I'll be her. Damn. I've got to speed things up." It was just afternoon when Alex went to his bedroom, stripped, and headed to the bathroom where the suit lay in the tub, resembling the prone body of a lifeless woman. "How the hell did I get into this?" he wondered. "Why did I put that thing on at all? It hasn't even been a day, and I'm already deep in trouble. How come? It's not like I ever really wanted to be a girl. Okay, maybe it's kind of fun to see what it's like, but I'm not gay or some gender change case. I'm such a beautiful woman, she's so beautiful, I love being Alexia. Screw that, put Luke in her, not me." He glanced in the mirror again. His reflection looked too angular, too pale, too ugly to be him. Turning, he stepped into the cold water in the tub, picked up the suit, positioned it, and slipped his left leg inside. Around 1, Luke was cleaning his house when the phone rang. He wrung out his mop and answered on the third ring from the kitchen. "Hello? Luke?" It was Alexia's voice. Yeah. Alexia, is that you? Aha, came the reply, perhaps more Alexia now than Alex. Luke, I forgot. I've got something I can't miss on Sunday night. Luke sighed. Oh, that's too bad. I was really looking forward. How about tonight instead, came the feminine allure. Well, Luke began. Short notice, I know, Alex purred as Alexia, but I really want to see you again, so why not sooner instead of later? All right, Luke agreed. Blue Parrot, 7, tonight, Alex said. I'll make reservations. You'll call back if you can't get them, right? Luke asked. Giggle. Right. Bye, Luke. Bye, Alexia. Alex hung up, the delicate brown fingers of Alexia letting the receiver drop, and laughed Alexia's laugh. He'd meant for it to sound malicious, but it didn't. Anyone watching would see only a tall woman with flawless pale brown skin, charming frizzy hair, and a lovely voice, naked, chatting pleasantly on the phone, then laughing in anticipation of a nice evening. Alex grabbed the phone book, found the Blue Parrot's number in the white pages, and called. Blue Parrot, said a man's voice with a faint, artificial French accent. Hello, Alexia said with more charm and Jamaican accent than usual. I'd like reservations for 2 tonight at 7. The name's LaSalle. Ah, the man replied. 7 might be difficult. Oh, please. The damsel in distress tone. It's a special occasion. Just a small table for 2. After a pause, the man said, certainly. Yes, 7 o'clock. Non-smoking? Alex asked. We only allow smoking in a separate lounge, mademoiselle. Thank you so much. Bye. Alex hung up. Alex finalized his plan to turn Luke into Alexia. He slipped into Alexia's form, selected the outfit she'd wear that evening, mostly the same as the drugstore look from the night before, and lightly applied smudge-proof makeup. Then he practiced undressing as Alexia, taking off the suit, waiting 10 minutes, putting it back on, and dressing again once fully restored. After the 3rd try, he could do it all in just over 16 minutes if he simply brushed Alexia's hair afterward. The trick was to stay calm and methodically pull the slit open from neck to crotch. Remarkably, Alexia's makeup held up well through the process. After practicing, Alex stood before the bathroom mirror, gazing at Alexia's reflection. So beautiful, he thought, so damn beautiful. He put a flirtatious smile on her face but immediately felt uneasy. He shouldn't be practicing that kind of smile if he didn't mean it. Ah, damn, he thought, I'm thinking like her again. Only a few more hours. With a beautiful sigh, he began slowly undressing Alexia. It took another 10 minutes before he could bring himself to remove Alexia herself. After some searching through boxes and closets, he finished preparing for the evening. I'm Alex Solar, he said to the desk clerk at the hotel next to the Blue Parrot. I have a reservation. He set down a small suitcase with Alexia's clothes and an old duffel bag containing Alexia's skin wrapped in damp towels. The clerk was a tall, bleached blonde woman in her 30s, a little worn. Her masculine gray suit and blue bow tie, the hotel chain's standard uniform, somehow made her look even more feminine and almost adorable. Alex found himself wishing he had a suit like that, for Alexia to wear, on the night when Alexia had taken over Luke's body. Yes, everything's in order, she said. You have my credit card number from the phone, right? Alex asked. Yes, sir, she replied. Now, please fill out this form. Of course, Alex said. He did, and she seemed unfazed by the fact that he lived locally. Probably sees enough people renting rooms for affairs, he thought. Day rooms for lunchtime hookups, too, I bet. Is your car already in our garage? The clerk asked. I'll validate the ticket. Thanks. Alex fished the ticket from his shirt pocket and handed it over. A moment later she said, Here's the ticket and your room key, room 528. Take the nearest elevator, just at that end of the lobby. She gestured. Enjoy your stay, sir. Thanks, Alex said, taking the key and ticket. I will. At 20 minutes to 7, Alex lay on the bed wearing only his glasses, watching TV. Alexia's clothes were neatly laid out beside him, ready for her to wear, while her skin softened in the warm tub water. His own clothes were packed in the overnight bag, and though the duffel held only damp towels, it was zipped and ready to go. Mission Impossible played on the screen, showing a female team member donning a mask and wig, convincingly disguised as a Japanese woman. How do I look? Her voice synced perfectly with the real actress's lips. Alex grabbed the remote, turned off the TV, got up, and headed to the bathroom to slip into Alexia. Around 6:56, Alex took a last look in the mirror before leaving. Alexia's hair was styled up, revealing her slender neck, with a few charming wisps framing her ears. She looked like she might be cold, bare arms and shoulders, chest half covered, but inside, Alex felt warm. He dabbed perfume behind her ears and on her wrists, slipped the room key into her purse, and stepped out, exactly the Alexia he wanted Luke to meet that night. Taking the elevator down to the garage, he walked past his car, pretending to check if it was locked, then took another elevator to the far end of the hotel lobby near the Blue Parrot. Do exactly what you'd do if this was real, he thought, making Alexia smile knowingly. That's how you make this work. Luke stood in the Blue Parrot's waiting area, staring off into space until the soft brushing of pantyhose-clad legs brought him back. He looked up and saw Alexia's smiling face, flawless pale brown skin above a tiny strapless dress with barely a skirt, long perfectly shaped legs and black pantyhose. Alexia! Luke exclaimed. You look magnificent tonight. The smile on her face grew wider, delightfully mischievous. Sorry I'm late, Alex said, Alexia's voice playfully apologetic. It was about 6:07. They stood in the Blue Parrot's waiting area, and Alexia pressed her lips to Luke's left cheek. Shockingly, Alex briefly flicked his own tongue against Luke's cheek. No problem, Luke replied. Hardly late at all. I told the maitre d' you'd made the reservations. A waiter bowed and led them to their table, helped Alex settle Alexia's shapely rears in the chair, handed them menus, and left. Sorry about the short notice, Alex said. No worries, Luke said warmly. Alexia, you're truly fascinating, and I want to get to know you better as soon as possible. Alexia giggled. Who knows? You might get to know me more intimately than you ever imagined. Maybe sooner than you expect. Must be cold, Alexia, Luke said as they left the Blue Parrot after an excellent dinner. Alex had read in a woman's magazine, the only thing left in a doctor's waiting room, that men find a healthy appetite in women sexy. Alex had never believed it, but having eaten little that day, he was willing to try. An appetizer, good wine, a generous entree, and rich dessert had passed Alexia's pouty lips and into Alex's stomach. I could get used to this, Alex thought, especially with Luke insisting on paying. But it's past 9:30. I have to take her off soon or I never will. I'm fine, Alex said, though he knew a real Alexia would be shivering in the cool evening air. Are you sure you don't want my jacket? Luke offered. Alex shook Alexia's head. The real question is, my place or yours? Luke smiled. Whichever you prefer. Yours, Alex answered. All right, Luke said. Taking your own car? Let me tell you the way. He sketched a crude map on the back of a business card. Alex didn't need it but thanked him, slipping the card delicately into Alexia's purse. Look, I need to stop by my place for a few things, Alex said. Might only be 20 minutes. No problem, Luke said. Alex expected an objection. I'll wait for you at my place. My car's in the hotel garage, Alex said as they neared the hotel's main doors. I parked down the street, Luke replied. So, goodbye for now. They kissed, Luke's parted lips against Alexia's, and Alex, or rather Alexia's self, slid his tongue into Luke's mouth as far as possible, if briefly. They separated, Luke held open the lobby door, and with Alexia's sleek legs, Alex stepped through. Back in Alex's room, Alexia's hands quickly and neatly undressed her. Soon her skin was bare, and Alex felt smug for having practiced. His sports watch, set to stopwatch mode, sat on the dresser, ready to track his time as himself. Using Alexia's fingers, Alex massaged her throat, slit open her front, and began removing her. Once she was just a suit again, he started the watch. He paced, went to the bathroom to urinate, paced some more, frequently checking the watch. To be safe, he waited 12 minutes instead of 10 before stopping the watch and slipping back into Alexia with relief. He sealed himself inside, shaped her form perfectly, dressed her, let down her hair, brushed it out, touched up her lipstick from her purse, grabbed the bags, and left. Alex headed to the garage and found his car. He placed the duffel bag in the trunk but took Alexia's purse and the overnight bag with his own clothes, tossing them into the passenger seat. Driving to the exit booth, a 50-ish black man asked, "Ticket, please." Alex fumbled in Alexia's purse with her fingers. "Oh dear," he sighed, "I don't seem." "Sorry, ma'am," the attendant said, "but—" "No, wait," Alex said. He unzipped the overnight bag, got used to the gloved feel of Alexia's skin, and pulled out his crumpled ticket. "Here you go." The man looked almost disappointed it had a hotel validation but smiled at the beautiful face he thought belonged to a woman. "Thanks, ma'am. Good night." The suit smiled back. "Good night." Alex parked about a block from Luke's house. It wouldn't do for Luke to spot his car until Luke was no longer himself. He grabbed the overnight bag, stepped out, and started walking. Even wrapped in Alexia's skin, the evening chill soon crept in. He glanced down at the bag. Not exactly the kind of luggage a real Alexia would carry, he thought. Oh well, it wouldn't matter. Soon, Alexia's slender forefinger pressed the doorbell at Luke's front door. Luke appeared immediately and noticed the bag. "Planning to stay the night?" he asked, welcoming his dinner companion inside. "You never know," Alex said in Alexia's seductive voice. "I forgot a jacket again, it really is getting cold." He set the bag down in the hallway. "Want something to drink? I'm into ports and sherries these days. Or Madeira, if you prefer." Alex didn't like sweet wines. Luke had forced a few on him the previous week, but as Alexia, he replied, "Sherry would be lovely, Luke." "There's a sideboard in the living room with decanters," Luke began, and Alexia giggled adorably. "Okay, so it's a stereotype. Half a glass of port for me, and whatever you like." "Sorry, I need to use the bathroom." "Okay," Alex said as Luke left. The speech sounded rehearsed, maybe affected, but Alex chalked that up to Luke's occasional nervousness around beautiful women. Alex went to the living room, took 2 glasses from the sideboard cupboard, and pulled a small vial from Alexia's purse, the one that had given him so much trouble preparing that afternoon. He had stolen some chloral hydrate, the classic Mickey Finn ingredient, from a college lab and spent an hour making a concentrated solution. He popped open the vial, poured its contents into 1 glass, then added port from the decanter. The other glass he filled nearly to the brim with a pale sherry, hoping it was dry. Luke returned to find Alexia sitting on the love seat, long legs crossed in black pantyhose, left hand holding the sweet sherry to her pouty lips, right hand gesturing toward the table where the port-laced glass awaited. Luke sat beside her and picked up the glass. Man and false woman exchanged looks full of desire, each wanting the other to be the real version of the impasto. "To us," said Alexia's delicate voice, raising her glass. "To us," Luke echoed, and they sipped their drinks. "Something's odd about this port," Luke remarked, taking a bigger sip. "What's wrong?" Alexia's tone was concerned. Her fingers holding the glass lifted it to her lips and poured the rest of the drink into Alex. Luke finished slowly. "There's a bitter, off taste. It shouldn't be there. I had some from that decanter just yesterday, and it was fine. Let me try a clean glass." "Good idea." Alexia's forced cheerfulness showed. "Here, I'll try some too." Luke took Alexia's glass, smiled as her lips curved, went to the sideboard, got another glass, and poured half a glass of port. "Tastes fine now," he said, filling the other glass. "That's strange." He returned to the love seat, placed his glass on the side table, let Alexia's fingers take the other, and sat, his thigh brushing against the pantyhose and short skirt. "You know, you're remarkably beautiful and desirable," Luke said. Alexia took a long sip. Though it tasted like cough syrup to Alex's tongue, the alcohol hit the spot. "Why, thanks," she replied in Alexia's voice. "That's very sweet." "It's the truth," Luke said. "Not just sweetness." "I'm big and tall enough to be a man," Alexia said, her voice lower but still unmistakably feminine, setting down her glass. "Yet you're a woman," Luke said, "all woman." "Beautiful, beautiful woman," he stroked the skin beneath her chin, gazing into her brown eyes. "Do you have any idea how sexy that is? Tall, strong, sleek, and all woman." "You're wonderful, too, Luke." Alexia's fingers ruffled his hair. Suddenly, Luke collapsed onto Alexia's lap, apparently unconscious. Feminine but strong arms pushed him away until he sprawled over most of the love seat. Alexia got up and began undressing quickly and methodically, savoring the relief of slipping off tight sandals, the feel of nylons on shaven legs, the soft fabric of the dress sliding over skin, the bounce of chest as she unhooked the bra, the delicate touch of the locket and chain around her neck, and the gentle pull of earrings from her pierced lobes. "Screw it," the beautiful unclothed woman shouted, fully Alexia now, no longer Alex. The suit wasn't just a suit, it was her skin. She touched the leather arm of a chair with her left hand, and the combined sensations of Alex's own touch and the faint feeling from Alexia's skin reversed. She was feeling through her own pale brown skin, Alexia's skin, and Alex's own was almost gone, absorbed. "No! No!" cried the woman who had once been Alex and was now Alexia. "I can't have changed. I still have hours to go. I'm not Alexia." She knew it was a lie, yet she frantically massaged her slender, womanly neck. Slowly, both her neck and fingertips lost their dual sensations as her skin settled into that of a real woman. She kept at it until her fingertips ached and welts began to form on her neck. Then, overcome, she broke down in tears and sank to the floor. Alexia sobbed on Luke's living room floor for several minutes before finally standing. She gulped down the rest of her port, which now tasted better. Either the start of her true transformation had altered her palate, or maybe she just needed the drink. She refilled her glass with Madeira from the sideboard, drained it, and thought it was surprisingly dry. "Think I'll have another," she murmured, and did. Naked, Alexia went to the bathroom. Her appearance hadn't shifted much since the start of her metamorphosis. The tears had caused more change, but her neck, fingers, and feet felt more delicate now, truly her own instead of Alex in a suit. She caressed herself, delighting in her bare fingertips and the all her own skin beneath. She smoothed back her hair, felt the bones of her now real face, then lifted her chests. The last numbness faded, they belonged entirely to her now, pointers at least as sensitive as Alex's had been. Massaging her abdomen, she moved down to her crotch, fingering a sensitive spot far more sensitive than Alex's glands had been. Probing her female organ with a forefinger, she realized she wasn't quite fully woman there yet, but the inch or so of depth was a vast improvement over the moist patch Alex had disguised. Her rear still held a patch of numbness inside, but her thighs and legs were fully her own now, no longer Alex's body padded with false flesh. "Looks like I'm stuck as Alexia now," she thought, stepping back from the mirror for a full view of her new form. She wriggled in sheer delight at her beauty. If anyone had told me when I was Alex that I'd rather be a pretty woman, I'd have laughed and sneered. But this is so much better. Why? I don't know. It just feels right, as if I should have been this woman, Alexia LaSalle, all along. She smiled at her reflection. "I'm Alexia LaSalle," she said softly. Back in the living room, Luke lay still in his drugged sleep, slumped mostly on the floor. Alexia struggled to haul him onto the love seat, one arm under his head, the other under his knees. Her muscles felt weaker now. Becoming a woman's, Alex would have had no trouble moving him. She dressed again, everything fit better, especially the sandals, and she enjoyed the feel of clothes on her real skin. Taking her purse, she went to the bathroom, touched up her makeup, easier now that her skin was hers, not a mask over a man's body. Returning to the living room, Luke showed no sign of waking. What now? Alexia wondered. She could leave, take Alex's car, and drive to his condo, but she couldn't think of those things as hers anymore, or see herself as ever having been Alex. She had Alex's memories, but they felt like someone else's, a store of information useful but not truly hers. Looking down at Luke's drugged form, she felt pity, and more. I'm in love with him, she thought. I really am. I think I was in love with him when I was Alex, but as Alex I couldn't admit it. Now I'm a woman, and I can. Will he love me too? Am I pretty enough? Is my body too big, too much like Alex's? Luke said he liked it, said it was sexy that my body is this way. Is my skin too dark? Maybe Luke wants a natural blonde. I wish they'd sent the skin of a cute little blonde girl so I'd be someone cuddly for Luke. I can't tell Luke I used to be Alex. I need to build a new identity as me, Alexia LaSalle, but I can't ask him for help or it'll all come out. Maybe new selves can help. I'll call and say, "Hi, I'm a satisfied customer. Could you help me with a new identity to fit my new body? I want to be called Alexia LaSalle. No, I don't want to be a man again, ever. So don't try to change me back, okay?" Alexia bent over Luke, cupped his face gently, and kissed him tenderly. "Oh, Luke, I love you so much," she whispered, caressing his cheeks with her delicate fingers. Luke didn't respond, still too drugged to wake or notice. Alex had given him too much chloral. Poor Luke. He'll be out for hours. Alexia went to Luke's bedroom, grabbed the woolen blanket from his double bed, carried it downstairs, and draped it over him. She tacked it around his neck and feet, kissed him again, and headed to his guest room. She remembered the emergency pills that came with the suit, the amazing suit making her truly herself. Alex had placed them in her purse, planning to give them to Luke once he was in her skin, ensuring he would become her. She giggled at Alex's silly plan. It's better this way. Luke could never be as me. Opening the purse, she found the blister pack, popped out the gel capsules, and swallowed them. Maybe I'll have a real female organ by morning, she thought, and then Luke and I can make love. She stripped off her clothes, slipped into bed, switched off the nightstand lamp, and quickly fell asleep, worn out from the start of her metamorphosis. Alexia woke to the scent of breakfast, coffee, bacon and eggs, toast, and more. Sitting up in bed, nearly bare-chested, she saw Luke, looking unshaven and tired but content, carrying a tray of food into the room. "Oh, Luke," she said, "you didn't have to do that." Luke grinned as he set the tray down. "Well, it was the least I could do, Alexia. You know, I put about 50 times the dose you'd get in those emergency gel caps into each decanter, flavorless and harmless unless you're in a new self suit." Alex didn't stand a chance. Alexia gasped. You set Alex up," Luke said. "Of course I did. Friend transformed into loving, lovable girlfriend in hours. He almost got me with the Mickey Finn, serves me right." "This is crazy," Alexia said. "I should be furious. You've taken my body, my identity, made me not want them back, turned me into this." She pressed her hands to her chest, comforted by the feel of her own chests. "But somehow, it's okay. Better than okay, I'm happier now than I ever was as Alex." "I hope the cab came in handy yesterday morning," Luke said. Alexia shook her head, amused at Alex's naivety. "Alex never had a chance against you." "Sorry for making you Alexia without asking," Luke said, "but it's a huge upgrade. Physically you're about 20, a hell of a lot prettier than Alex, and way less likely to be stuck home alone on a Friday night. I needed a girlfriend, Alex doesn't anymore now that he's you, Alexia. 2 birds, 1 stone. But I'll make you pay for this," Alexia said. Oh yeah? What will you do? Luke asked, leaning over her. Be honest, Alexia, what do you really want? Seduce you, she said, grabbing him, pulling him down onto the bed, and pressing her lips hard against his. Afterward, they nibbled on their cold breakfast. Despite Alexia's female organ not yet being fully grown to comfortably accommodate Luke, they enjoyed their time together. Luke, Alexia said, I am going to become a complete woman, right? The new Selves people say so, Luke replied. They've had nursing mothers who were once men. It's just a matter of months. Good, Alexia smiled. I'm going to love having a baby, your baby, Luke, and nursing it. This is me, the real me. I really am Alexia LaSalle. I was never supposed to be Alex. It was all a cosmic mistake you can forget now, Alexia, Luke said softly. You're finally you, the woman you were meant to be. You're my darling Alexia. I can't thank you enough for rescuing me, she said. Trapped in that lonely, nerdy man, stuck with his mind in his body, it was awful. I might never have escaped. I knew you were in there, Alexia, inside Alex, screaming to get out, Luke said. I had to free you from his body and mind. Even then, I loved you so much, but what could I do until Alex was out of the way? I love you, Luke, Alexia whispered. They kissed deeply, holding each other close. Happy with your looks, babe? Luke asked. We can get you a new skin and start fresh if you want. I love every part of me, Alexia said. Or I will once it's all done. Luke, do you mind that I'm so big and tall? Well, I'm technically black? Luke chuckled and gently stroked her chin, now softer and less stubborn as she approached her true form and was no longer Alex in disguise. Alexia, you're the girl of my dreams. You're exactly who I've always wanted, your hair, your skin, your size, your voice and cute accent, your body and soul. That settles it, then, Alexia said, nestling against him.